Yo, thanks for tuning into my channel. Happily Married, it's your boy Phil. And right now I want to talk about communication. I was thinking back to a video I seen. It was actually like on a Today Show or something like that. It was an older couple that was married for probably like 50 years. And they asked them the question, how did y'all survive so long? Like, how did y'all be together so long and y'all are still so happy? And basically, the answer to that question was we had really great sex and communication. You know what I'm saying? And communication being a part of their relationship survival. You know what I mean? The main part of their relationship survival. So, in any relationship, we all know that you have to have open lines of communication because what that does is that gives the other individual the opportunity to fix the problem, right? Because when you don't communicate and you keep stuff in, the person over there, they don't know how to fix the problem. So that problem still exists because you haven't put it on the table and laid it out for them to say, look, this is the problem. This is the problem that I'm having, right? And you need to fix it, basically. And when you actually lay it on the table, you have to give that person time to change, right? Or time to fix the problem. You can't expect it to happen overnight or be so um, impatient that you don't give them time because nobody just change overnight. You know what I'm saying? Change take time. Even when you working out, it takes time to develop into uh, that consistent individual working out that you want to be, right? So, and it is for any relationship, like friends or whatever. Sometimes you might have some advice, or you may see some things that your friends don't see, or your significant other don't see, and it would benefit them. But a lot of times we don't just start communicating with people because if you genuinely care or whatever, um, most of the time you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you don't want to put your relationship in a space where they feel like you're judging them, right? And most of the time in my situation, I be feeling like, man, it's why I always got to be me. Why do I always got to be the one to say something to somebody or something like that? And what that is that you got to realize this: when it's always you, you're the person that a lot of people may have respect for. So sometimes a lot of people, they might want to say something to somebody, or say how they feel to somebody, and they just want to talk to everybody that can't change the situation. Oh, you might just be the person that had a heart to say it. You know what I'm saying? And you just have that in you to be able to just speak up when others can't, or say something when others can't. And then you might just be the one that care so much that you're the one that actually speaks out and let the person know so they can change the situation. I give you an example. Like, I had a individual that was I wanted to say some things to this person, and I didn't for a while because, like I said earlier, I ain't want to hurt the brother feelings, or I didn't want to put our friendship in a space where we ain't really clicking like that. But it was affecting me negatively to the point where I was just talking about the situation every day, and I'm seeing this thing happen every day, every day. So it got to a point where I eventually said something, and it wasn't taken the way I thought it was going to be taken because I was projecting my own uh, false reality on the situation, right? I hadn't even had the conversation, so how would I know how this person was going to react to what I was saying? And it was actually received in a way that I didn't expect. I didn't expect it to go so well, and it went really well. Where the information was received. But what that taught me about myself is that, you know, when you feeling something and when you want to say something and you feel like this is constructive criticism or just something that's on your heart to speak to somebody about, you need to go ahead and do it because you could be saving them from something. You know what I'm saying? Or you actually really could be saving yourself from a lot of frustration because when you hold stuff in, it's like a bubble, and as it stays inside, that bubble begins to grow until it bursts, and that's not good for anybody. So a lot of times, like I said before, we don't just come out with how we're feeling because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. But the truth is the truth, right? And if it's something that's bothering you, you need to let other people know what it is, like I said, so they can change, or so that way y'all can go y'all separate ways. If you say it and it's not received well, hey, if it's the truth and they don't receive it well, it's still the truth. You know what I'm saying? And That's just what it is. And I appreciate my mom's, because when I was young, she taught me how to accept constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? So she taught me that when somebody giving you constructive criticism, it's to help you. It's not to hurt you. So another thing I learned is that when you're accepting advice from someone, you actually have to have some level of respect for that person, because you ain't just taking advice from somebody you don't respect. You know what I'm saying? So if you giving advice and you genuinely doing it from the heart and it just goes completely left, maybe that person don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? And that's not your fault if it's on your heart and you genuinely want to, help somebody or communicate something to them that may be beneficial to them and they don't receive it. That's not your fault. You did your part by letting them know. As far as like the relationships, when it comes to communicating, I just don't understand how so many people be in relationships and they just not talking to each other. It's like, what's the point at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? I told my wife, a disagreement is not necessarily, in my opinion, an argument, even if the levels of the voices get high, because at the end of the day, it's about what the problem is, and I need you to communicate to me so I can solve the problem. Like I told her, even if you have to scream at me and yell at me what's bothering you, I'm not listening to the tone of your voice or how high your voice is. I'm listening to what you're saying, right? Because if you gotta speak to me that emotionally where your voice becomes high, because as as black people, we get hyped, you know what I'm saying? We might not be gonna do anything, but we just get hyped. So that comes with a high level in the voice. You know what I'm saying? When we get emotional about things, when we passionate about something, our voice level rises, right? So a lot of people take that like, oh, you coming at me, or you're mad, and this, that, and the third. A lot of times, yeah, you might be mad, but at the same time, that person is still getting it off their chest. So sometimes when you get it off your chest, especially when you do it in the heat of the moment, the voice gonna be high. So we already got to know that you're gonna be dealing with a high level in voice at that time. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes, like immediately, sometimes after things happen, it may not be the perfect time when you're mad. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you just got to gauge that for yourself. And but at the same time, when it come out, it come out. However it come out, it comes out. Long as you get it off your chest and you feel better. It's almost like throwing up after you've been drinking all night and you just got that Earl feeling, like, yo, I got an Earl, and you just feel sick, you feel bad. But once you get it out, it's ugly, it's disgusting, it's nasty. And at the end of the day, once it's out, it's like you feel better. You feel like you can drink some more after that. It's the same thing when something is in you that much or that for that long. Once you get it out, you feel like a weight been lifted off your shoulders. And it literally has, because this emotion carries a weight that actually drags you down. So if something drags you down, then it's a weight. You understand? It could be an emotional weight. And you don't want to be carrying emotional weight. That's what baggage mean. Like when they say, oh, the bag lady or person carrying baggage from their last, that's weight. They bringing weight from their old relationship into this new relationship. You feel me? So a lot of times you just got to let that person get it off their chest, and you got to pay attention to the words. Now, fellas, when you talking to your woman and and she's expressing to you what her issues are, being that women use more words than us, being that they talk highly, they talk off their emotions, you really got to pay attention to all of the words that they saying and ask specific questions that you need answers to, right? Listen to what they saying, let them get it out. You don't want to just talk over them and make them feel like you're not listening, because that's one of the main issues that women have with us brothers, is that they don't think that we're listening. Listen to what they saying, engage in the conversation. Even if she's screaming, you want to put yourself in a position where you're talking at a low tone. You know what I'm saying? So it don't turn into what people consider an argument. If you loud and I'm loud, we arguing, right? But if she loud, let her get it. She's just being emotional about the situation. It's the same with a man. If you dealing with your man and he's getting it off his chest, and if you see a man get it off his chest, he really feel this way. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't really just get like that. He really feel this way. So don't pay attention like he's yelling at you or something like that. No, he's getting it off his chest, and that's just what that is. And you have to actually be smart enough to know that that's what's going on and listen to the words. But back to the fellas, right? When it comes to like listening to your woman, you definitely need to ask certain questions because you want the specifics of what's wrong. She's gonna tell you how she's feeling about everything, but you have to hone in and decide. Okay, she said this, she said that. Well, okay, well, this is really the problem. And once you got that right, you got to make a decision right then and there that you're gonna change what she has a problem with. If you feel that that change needs to be made, 9 times out of 10, normally the change needs to be made. You know what I'm saying? And you just make that change, and then boom, problem solved. So my point to all of this is communication is the key. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're dealing with multiple relationships, I know some people be in relationships where they have multiple partners and stuff like that. Especially in a situation like that, you have to be very open to communication. You know what I mean? A lot of times brothers get knocked off and caught cheating and stuff like that because you know you doing your thing, and I ain't knocking it. Do what you do, whatever worked for you. Do what you do. You feel me? But sometimes you never know what people are open to. You know what I'm saying? Some people could be open to having multiple women, multiple men, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you would never know that if you didn't communicate that to people. You would never find that person that was cool with, having that type of situation going on if you didn't communicate. Because you don't communicate, it turned into you just got oiled up, you got knocked off, you got caught cheating. But that person probably, if you would have brought it to their attention from the beginning and said, look, this is where I'm at with it. This is how I feel about this. This is what I want to do. Now you putting that, because you communicated early, you gave that person the opportunity to say yay or nay. Yep, I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do this. Or yeah, this is something that I rock with, or I don't rock with it. You know what I mean? And that's just that. You know, a lot of times like I said, the main thing is why we don't communicate is because we don't want to hurt the other person, or we don't want to end up having that hard conversation. And hard conversations is conversations that you need to have. And if it hurts, you got to let it hurt, but you got to get it out. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't get it out, it's going to hurt you in the long run, in all types of ways. You know what I'm saying? And, brothers, I'm gonna tell you like this. You know, we got a lot of brothers that wanna not listen to their women, not hear their women, and stuff like that. But you know, a woman was designed to help you. You know what I'm saying? Help you succeed in life for real. And if you ain't listening to your woman, then you know that's a mistake in itself, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean like in the sense of she your mother or things of that nature, but you know what I'm talking about. You got to listen to your woman. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time, 100% of the time, your woman ain't doing stuff to go against you. And if she is that type of woman that's giving you advice or coming at you to go against you, then why you with her in the first place? And that goes for women too. Listen to your man. You know what I'm saying? If y'all are genuinely together and truly together and y'all really respect each other, you're going to listen to what they saying. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they telling you something coming from the heart. It ain't to hurt you. It's just like with your parents. You think your parents gonna tell you something to hurt you? If they good people and they genuine people, no, they not. So it's the same way in a relationship. If you with somebody and they giving you advice, especially stuff you don't want to hear, or just communicating something that you may be you feel some type of way about, just know the character of that person's heart, and that'll help you judge what they telling you. But at the end of the day, don't keep nothing in. If you don't feel like the time is right to speak on something, hold it in, think about it, but get it out. You know what I'm saying? You got to get it out, because what you don't get out, it stays in and it becomes toxic. That's where all the toxicity, a majority of the toxicity in relationships come from, is where we start holding stuff inside and we don't get it out. We don't communicate, and it turns into something else. And that's pretty much all I got on that topic right now. So, share this video if you think, it can help somebody. Like it if you like it. It is what it is. But it's your boy Phil signing off, and I'm on to the next one.